have to sort this out on my own. Without the council, and without you. Stay here any longer. Not now. I have to sort this out on my own. Without the council, and without you. Stay here any longer. Not now. I have to sort this out on my own. Without the council, and without you. Stay here any longer. Not now. I have to sort this out on my own. Without the council, and without you. I have to sort this out on my own. Without the council. And without you. Stay here any longer. Not now. I have to sort this out on my own. Without the council. And without you. Stay here any longer. Not now. I have to sort this out on my own. Without the council. And without you. Stay here any longer. Not now. I have to sort this out on my own. Without the council. And without you.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another Sunday, another weekend. We're going to be talking about the recently announced Halcyon Legacy, the book with Buryaga Aga Buri. And then we're going to talk about the recently released Trail of Shadows by Daniel Jose Older. And then we're going to talk first impressions for Visions Ronin by Emma Mieko Candon. We're not going to go into spoilers this time, so don't worry about leaving or muting your stream. We're just going to be talking ambiguously about how we feel about the book and just our first impressions of it. All on Dyad in the Force.
Unseen for generations, a Dyad in the Force.
No.
Yes.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us here on Dyad in the Force. We wanted to swap up the roles and mix things up, jump into this because we got some stuff going on this week. Like we said, Halcyon Legacy. We got just some great things to talk about, and I'm excited to jump in because I love Buryaga. I love the nature of having like such an empathic, character. Plus, he's a big Wookiee.
He's a cuddle ball.
Yeah, who doesn't want a Wookiee hug? You know what I mean? Provided they don't smell terrible, I feel like they might.
And provided you haven't angered him prior to that hug.
That's true. There's a reason they talk about bear hugs being a good thing. If you've angered a bear, it probably wouldn't be, but Wookiee hugs have got to be better. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Let's say hello to the chat. We got like Lord Dago Veyray, Darthman86, Harith Productions, Saint Pat of Starfleet. Shout out to Saint Pat. We got something in store for you later when we talk about some questions we've gotten from TikTok. And then we have Julia Christine in the house. Welcome, Julia. And let's see here. That's it. But as we are in announcements portion, by the way, again, if you're trying to keep track of what we're talking about, just pay attention to the ticker on the top. You'll know what we're talking about. Shout out to Julia Christine, who says, the news that Pablo knows who I am, much to discuss. Yeah. I missed
that news. Can I? Y'all catch me up?
Yeah. Well, Julia, I'll let you kind of clarify for Choco. So leave it in the chat. The context about that whole scenario. St. Pat says Wookiees are the best. Man, weekends with Dyad and the Star Wars TikTok community is just a whole kind of mood, Just chilling with you guys, taking a. I kind of like these kind of more relaxed shows and episodes where we can just chill. Camilla in the house, Bariko Wookiee. I jumped into this right at the perfect time regarding Wookiees, didn't I? Absolutely. Although it's not Wednesday, it is still Wookiee Day for us because we're talking about Halcyon Legacy that was just announced. And shout out to Camilla for her amazing duets.
Yes, duets plus podcast as well. Beings of the Galaxy, check that out. You may hear a couple of familiar voices on different episodes. And also, if you are Buryaga, every day is Wookiee Wednesday. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. So we started a duet chain in collaboration with Daniel Jose Older for Trail of Shadows, which we will discuss later on in the episode. And Camilla was part of it. She did an amazing duet with her keyboard. And shout out to Xantha Tan, who also contributed violin.
Contributed? You mean carried?
Yeah, well, yeah. We're up to the vocal portion of our duet chain, so hopefully by the time I'm gonna duet it again after everyone has gone in and just be there going, yes, 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 go, go, go. You know, it's a great collaboration, and shout out to everyone involved. We had Xanthi, Camilla. We're gonna have Mesa Windu, Dad the Bounty Hunter, and Bad Recaps add additional vocals, so stay tuned for that. Additional announcements. So I am known for sitting in this thing right here, and I mean, I love this chair. First of all, it's so much better than the one I had previously, but I am now officially partnered with Respawn Products. That is right. I mean, it is now official. I can sit in this chair and not say not sponsored, but we're partnered with Respawn Products, so if you've ever in need of a chair, or if you are trying to upgrade your setup in any way, monitor stands, desks, anything like that, respawnproducts.com, promo code element7. And I do believe Choco's on his way. On
my way. I just need to complete the dialogue. Not gonna lie though, you can't see it. I'm in a Respawn chair already.
Do
well,
better,
so.
man. I think it's on your pillow. You can lift it up now.
The pillow, yep. But getting at it.
There it is.
There we go.
Respawn fam. Shout out to Darius, Lord Dagovere. Great support on that front. Here comes Julia with the context. We'll wait for that. There it is. So
here comes the Julia.
Julia says, tweeted about not wanting to be like the folks harassing Pablo on Twitter with my quirky questions. Okay, that's the first part. We'll wait for the second part. So let's vamp for a little bit. Like, I know it's not Star Wars, but I think we all caught a glimpse of DC fandom yesterday.
Yep.
I feel like everyone is talking about Batman and Flash, although the Flash suit was amazing. My most anticipated and the one that I was most excited for was, of course, Black Adam, and that looked incredible. That first look.
Yeah, he looked kind of mean. No, I love the character of Black Adam. I mean, he's kind of like, I mean, so when it comes to like Marvel and DC, sometimes their characters are reflections of others, and some of them just have certain things. If I were to liken Black Adam to anyone, I would say he's kind of like DC's Magneto, to where he has his own ends, but he's not. And he's a bad guy. He's pretty martial, but he's not wrong.
Yeah. And then the Flash suit?
Flash suit was amazing for the Flash movie that's upcoming.
Yeah.
I just had to make that
Distinction
because because there's the Flash show and he's finally getting a suit with the gold boots, but I just don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes 2D and live action just doesn't translate, or they just don't do it well. And no shade to like the costume department, they just it just doesn't translate. You know, I kind of prefer the all red like tracksuit thing that they had going on.
Yeah. The first two episodes of Young Justice season 4 dropped. Nobody told me that.
Well, I mean,
so
yeah, keep up, bro.
This.
Okay, so we have the full context from Julia. So let's take a look again. Tweeted about not wanting to be like the folks harassing Pablo on Twitter with quirky questions, and then said that she was a silly goose. His response was, "Oh, never worry, Julia. I know exactly what level of goose is behind the quirky tweets." So, name drop by Pablo Hidalgo. Right on. And He's quite aware of the goose, apparently.
You know, sometimes you gotta goose it up.
Yeah. Shout out to Brian with the bread, Brian with the beard, Brian with the beard bread, Brian with the bread beard. Look at these two handsome shills. I'm not a shill, but I am handsome.
Listen, if I'll take that money though.
I mean,
I get those comments, Disney must be paying you, and then I look at like my apartment, I'm like, nope.
This right here, what you see is a backdrop. Everything else is, I needs money, so
he's actually outside right now.
It's like one of those things where it's like the rest of this is like a good dumpster. It's like I found the one good spot, DJO liked my response ripping on Screen Rant today. Oh, what did Screen Rant do, Brian? I usually tweet about Screen Rant in their article headlines. I'm just like, this is stupid.
Yeah, they often kind of miss the mark.
Yeah. Darthman86 says, I'm still worried about how Riddler looks, but the movies looks great. I mean, I have faith. First of all, Batman looks phenomenal in the suit. Like, finally, after like the first teaser that we did in the first fandom, in this fandom, like seeing multiple shots of it, I was like, this guy looks like Batman now. It's like, wow. Hey, you got anything to say about Batman?
Battinson. No, it looks great. I do feel like his forehead is a little bulbous in the suit.
That's true.
That kind of like is weird. The Batmobile looks sick. But I'm excited because we are going to get a Batman for the first time that's actually is doing Batman stuff. I just feel like the Batman is the world's greatest detective, right? Like his comic is called Detective Comics, and he doesn't do any detecting. That's weird to me. And
detect that the Joker is behind this.
Yeah, it's more. I don't know. I feel like we mostly see him just like, just horribly maim like thugs and underlings, and then climb all the way up to like the boss of the gang, who's just like a mentally ill person, and then he just like arrests them, and then they escape. But like all the henchmen and stuff are getting like brutally maimed. And
was our only kind of like detecting like the ballistic stuff in like the Dark Knight?
Yeah, that's about it. And that was utter BS.
It's just one of those fictional like enhance, zoom and enhance.
And you're like, what's the resolution on that camera, buddy?
Yeah, that was ultra 16K right there. Julia Christine is in fact the top goose. Camilla loved hearing more about Batgirl and Blue Beetle. I mean, come on. I think DC is actually killing it with representation. There's a lot of like diversity in that showcase.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love that it's getting baked into like the bottom layer of things, because it's not just about having a variety of people on screen or like, illustrated, but having the different voices behind the scenes doing the writing and stuff is how we get different new and interesting stories, and not just rehash the old stuff over and over again.
Yeah. Lord Dagovere says, I felt like the Dark Knight had a lot of detective stuff. So when I criticize like not seeing detective stuff in like the Batman movies, I kind of like, I don't want to see him like making assumptions or like being like, I feel like these two dots connect, and so this must be the answer. I want him like doing forensic stuff, like with using like gadgets and scanners and sensors and analyzing blood and stuff.
Yeah, I mean they're saying that the Riddler is gonna be, it's gonna feel like Saw type stuff. You know what I mean? Like puzzles and stuff he's putting through people. And the Riddler, I think, is
Saw
an
or
amazing
Seven?
villain. Saw. Like,
Wasn't Matt Reeves the director of Seven?
I believe so. I'm just saying what I was,
Gotcha.
what I read. I cannot, confirm or deny that. But, with that type of, I can't wait to see that behind the scenes, because, like I said, the Riddler is an amazing villain when written correctly. When not in the best hands, he becomes like a poor man's Joker. But he's nothing like that. He's nothing like the Joker at all.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Well, we had a ninja member. I just realized this. Camilla Boriqua Wookie. Thank you for joining Squadron 7. Leave in the chat what starship you'd like to be in. Thank you very much. Your support is highly appreciated. Star Wars Lawyer in the chat. What up, Dyad in chat? What's up, Chris? How's it going? How's your week been? How's your weekend been? And yes, as Nerd Connor says, please like the video if you haven't already. Connor, if you have seen the Harry Potter franchise, I would liken you to Colin. And that's a good thing, by the way. But there you go. Okay, so let's move on to Star Wars Halcyon Legacy. This was just announced. Marvel's Star Wars Halcyon Legacy is, let's see here, written by Ethan Sachs, who just did the Bounty Hunters run. And he also worked on Rise of Kylo Ren. Nice. So what is Legacy? What is Halcyon Legacy? Do we have a? Well, here's the cover first of all, and it's hello. It just looks fantastic. Oh, Camilla is walking into the movie theater to see The Last Duel. Adam Driver, what's up? Just wanted to pop in for a little bit and say hello. Well, thank you for stopping by, Camilla, and also, again, thank you for your support. It's highly appreciated. I hope you enjoy The Last Duel. Yeah, thank you once again. You can always come back and watch the VOD. It's perfectly okay. So, Halcyon Legacy is a 5-part mini-series written by Ethan Sachs, art by Will Sliney, cover by EM Gist. The voyage, the greatest of all star cruisers. As the legendary Halcyon embarks on a momentous cruise, the ship heads towards a confrontation with the First Order. But what secret from the High Republic era can help the passengers and crew all these years later? And how did Jedi Nibs, Asik, and Buri, I guess they're just calling him Nibs and Buri as short, fend off a Nihil attack on one of the ship's first ever voyages? You know, I'm gonna let you vamp for a little bit, but I think I got some ideas as to what this may be.
Well, there's some interesting points in this, though, because, the Halcyon, this is going to be a story that's surrounding the hotel, the Star Wars hotel that's coming. And this thing has basically been around for hundreds of years, which is going to be an interesting concept. So we get to play around with this. We can get some eyes on what we can expect. Now, at the moment, it's a little rich for my blood, but hopefully, being the shills that we are, we can work our way into an invitation. But I love this. I love getting stories behind it.
Bye, Julia.
Oh, have a good one, Julia. But yeah, like the same way I enjoyed, reading about Black Spire Outpost and like all the characters there and how it runs and all that stuff in that book. I thought it was a really fascinating read. I love that we were getting this as well. But Can I just point out something that they put in here, almost like a throwaway sentence? It says, with a story that spans centuries, readers can revisit the iconic ship at different points in the Star Wars timeline. Reunite with familiar faces like the ultimate scoundrel pairing of Lando and Hondo teaming up for the first time, and travel the stars with a featured tale that leads into the events of Walt Disney World's resort experience. What?
Yeah. This is incredible. Well, Hondo is part of Galaxy's Edge right now, right?
Yes, but
Lando isn't.
We've not seen that team up, and I'm for it. You know,
I am so down. Just gotta like scrounge up $6,000 to get to Star Cruiser. But
oh, yeah.
I mean, this experience looks like
Element
it's going
7
to be
OnlyFans. Element 7 OnlyFans.
Hold on, ready? I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I mean, like, obviously they had to have a narrative surrounding the Star Cruiser resort experience, right? And I think this is a great way for them to do it. Introduce kind of some narrative and canon books around the experience and give people a little bit of an idea as to what they could possibly, because it seems like Halcyon Legacy is going to have stories, right, that we can read, and then when you go to the resort you can like experience any number of these stories. You can experience Nibs and Burry. You can experience Lando and Hondo. And since it's a story spanning centuries, you can even experience the Gathering. Oh, snap. My business email is on my Twitter.
No, you could also, I mean, the possibilities are now kind of endless, but I am betting that when you stay, you know, there's going to be like a simulated attack by the First Order, and like anyone, this is the birthplace of Easter eggs for anyone who will be staying in the resort. That's what I'm thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Julia said she meant she has to go to the hotel now. She's still here. Apologies. Welcome back. Chris says, Dyad talking about War of the Bounty Hunters when? How about next week with you on the show? Would you like to come on, Dyad, to talk about War of the Bounty Hunters? Are you up to date with... I think I have to read Bosch, or Boosh, or Moose Boosh.
I mean, I will be done by then. Was that Chris?
Yes. That was Chris saying that. Let us know. Harith joking around when Quinlan Voss shows up, of course. I am going to own that to the ends of the earth. Also, Quinlan Voss. It's like they're trying to force me to go so I can stay on brand. You know what? As the Lando of the community, I wouldn't be surprised if you got comp tickets to Star Cruiser to work personally with Hondo. Connor says, if we talk about Harry Potter next week, are we going to talk about the latest film Choco watched? Oh, we're not going to talk about Harry Potter on this show. We'll touch on like his experience, just like we did with this DC fandom and stuff like that. I mean, but I know it is late for you in the UK when we do the watch-alongs, but hopefully you'll be able to join in one of these times. I mean, we try to do them on the Fridays so that y'all don't have like a work day the next day. And Choco's been enjoying them, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. No clue what to expect. I've seen lots and lots of memes and interesting stuff. I think like the next one that we're watching with the watch along. Also, if you're not part of the public Discord and if you haven't connected your Discord and your YouTube account so you can access the Squadron 7 chat, the next one
do that. The next one is Goblet of Fire, which is one of my personal favorites. A lot of people's personal favorites. So if you haven't, do it. Join the squadron chat and just be around for Choco to experience Harry Potter for the first time. Galactic Star Cruiser. I think all of us are definitely going to enjoy or try to enjoy this resort experience. I know if I get comp tickets, I'm gonna lose my mind. Again, my email is on my Twitter. I will show up in my cosplay. And speaking of cosplays, Choco has a new one as we shift to High Republic Trail of Shadows issue number 1.
Yes, although I've been made insecure about my pronunciation of his name. How did it go again?
Why is someone trying to? I mean, when I read this, I read it as Emmerich.
So did I. I could have sworn.
Was someone like
did
Emmerich?
I feel like I don't know. I feel like I heard a different pronunciation and it threw me off. But yeah. I mean, I'll just go with Emmerich. Awesome costume. I actually reached out to. I'm debating whether or not to make it myself or to reach out. But you know what? Hopefully I can help promote this creator. Alex, otherwise known as SoCal Costumes, a friend of the channel, and she hasn't been on Dyad. She's been on High Ground a couple times. But costume designer, makes amazing stuff, and in talks to get this made. I just have to figure out how I'm going to do the droid.
Oh, well, I mean, we've already confirmed and decided that my face would be on the droid at least. I'm just kidding. It is Prisoner of Azkaban. My bad. But it is still Prisoner of Azkaban is still a lot of people's personal favorites. So yeah, join us for that. It's either going to be next Friday or the week Friday after that. We just kind of have to play it by ear with Choco's schedule and what he can do. But Prisoner of Azkaban is the next one. St. Pat asks, Choco cosplays.
Yeah, I mean, not lately. And I also want some more time to get back in the better shape first, because you just feel more svelte, but yeah, I mean, I've pulled off Mace Windu a number of times. It involves me shaving my head, which is fun.
So Trail of Shadows, I don't know if we want to go into spoilers, but I guess we can talk in abstract here. First of all, shout out to Daniel Jose Older for his first for the premiere of Trail of Shadows, which dropped on Wednesday. Again, we were doing a duet chain to celebrate the lullaby, which was part of this issue and part of this run, as Star Wars Lawyer says, Shri Karai Karai, or as in Tempest Runner, Karai Karai. I don't know. In the comic, Emmerich says, I don't know, maybe they were trying to look for a way to rhyme with away, and I started saying Shri Karai. And then in Tempest Runner, in Restitution, I believe is the part, one of the prisoners is saying Shri Karai, and I'm like, is this like a Marcion situation?
Oh, I totally forgot about that. And they're like, why is she singing like this?
Yeah.
Did not make that connection, but that's one of the reasons I love the High Republic, is like, man, they're always just dropping nuggets, man.
Yeah, I mean, DJ was the one that told us, and I went and looked for it, and I found it, and that's when I was like, now which one is it? Karai or Karai? We'll let everyone say whatever the hell they want, though. Marcion. Nerd Connor says, Choco, you look amazing. Don't put yourself down. You, sir, are starting to look chiseled.
trying to do what I can. I need to get the jawline. I'm gonna get some like I don't know, muscle gum or something. I don't know if that's it.
You notice I had to say that with my chest. Chisel.
Yeah. Sounds like you've been listening to The Rock do his rap.
Hello, Dob, the almighty Dob. Welcome back to Dyad. I appreciate you stopping by. I know our usual Saturdays at 5 is pretty late for you over there. And we started early today because it was rescheduled. But thank you for tuning in. What is with the High Republic and pronunciations, right? I mean, the pronunciations in the Old Republic were just as bad, if not worse.
I mean, that's been a part of the camp of Star Wars since the inception. I mean, we got Princess Leia and Leia in A New Hope, and we got Han and Han. Yeah, I think it's a thing.
Yeah. Shout out to Nia Annette in the chat, who says, I'd like to think the different pronunciations are from the different dialects in canon. Which is also another
that would make sense.
In-universe explanation, absolutely. So if you have not picked up Trail of Shadows yet, the first issue is out. It dropped on Wednesday, and it features a Jedi named Emmerich, who has been tasked.
Awesome.
Absolutely, who has been tasked, and his droid companion Q2, who has been tasked by Stellan Gios to investigate this thing that happened in the Rising Storm. So if you haven't read Rising Storm, I highly recommend you read Rising Storm so you know what this comic refers to. Now, you don't need to read it to understand the comic, but again, a lot of events within these like different books and comics refer to things in other books and comics. So while the stories are isolated or separated in that nature, it would behoove you to read these books and comics so you can get a bigger picture as to what they're referring to. Like if you read Into the Dark and they refer to the Great Disaster, like what is that? You read about what the Great Disaster is in Light of the Jedi, but you can still understand Into the Dark.
Yeah, and with it, I love because this is it's a detective story. You know what I mean? We get a detective Jedi with another detective, that we're gonna meet and investigate all this stuff. But I love mystery stories, and I especially love when there's like a unique key, a unique hook. And for this one, it's the lullaby. The lullaby is this through line that's going to connect certain things. And I don't know. I'm really interested to see where it goes.
Yeah, and there's some interesting characters that were introduced in this issue as well. We have Cien, who is a singer, I believe, and that's gonna play hugely into the lullaby, I assume. I think so. This is just a theory, and this is not a spoiler, but I think that Cien singing the lullaby is going to be the weapon they use against it.
So they're gonna like attack, and then you're gonna sing, and then it'll fall asleep.
Yeah, it's going to be just like Robotech and Lin Min Mei singing to the aliens and making them less aggressive. If you are not an old school Robotech Macross Plus fan, you will not get the reference. So I apologize for swinging for part of the park that is off limits. Can we do a podcast app where you do different Star Wars BuzzFeed quizzes, like what Star Wars character am I? We can. I mean, I'm not opposed to doing any quizzes like right now, but I just don't have any prepared. But yeah, it's gonna be a great comic run, detective stuff, a new cosplay for Choco, some new characters, musically inclined. It's gonna be great. Congratulations to Daniel Jose Older for this wonderful comic run. Can't wait for the next issue. Any final thoughts on Trail of Shadows?
I just need to see where the story goes,
Absolutely. By the way, we see an alien. If you're reading or planning to read Trail of Shadows, there is an alien there that is the same species as Coleman Tribor and Coleman Kakaj. Just thought that was an interesting little insert there.
Yep, dinosaur face.
Yep. I mean, Coleman's not the only best Jedi in the Jedi Order.
And he's single too.
The lullaby is anti-poke flute. The lullaby is Jigglypuff. People in the chat are saying. Just wait. Oh, Chris says, just wait until I release the rendition of a lullaby in my Zoom. The Flash voice. Oh. Hey, Chris, you're more than welcome to join the duet chain as well. You know, we had Xanatos 1138 who did their own kind of baritone-esque duet of the vocals, and it turned out really well. So moving on to Vision's Ronin first impressions. Choco, what are you thinking as you read Ronin? We both haven't finished this, and we're not gonna talk spoilers. Okay, so don't worry about that. Anything?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm audiobooking it that like one does. I have 16 minutes left, so that's all. And if I wasn't responding a lot today, it's because I was trying to finish it. But I've been enjoying it. It's a very unique take on Star Wars. If you enjoy Samurai Champloo, you will enjoy this book, which I very much enjoyed. Samurai Champloo. It is. What percentage would you say it is samurai and Star Wars? Would you say it's like 50-50?
So I'm not as far into it as you are. Shocker. But at some parts I would say it's 50-50. In other parts I'd say it's like 80-20.
Yeah, it kind of bounces around. One thing you will get is a lot more development from both characters that we get to meet in the first in the short.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that. The Sith that he fights in the beginning is not a throwaway character. So yeah, you'll definitely want to jump into this. And that's not really a spoiler. It's very, very early on. The Traveler might be one of my new favorite characters. Just in general, just because of how sly and intelligent and ambiguous they are.
Yeah. I was thinking, is he or are they NB?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and it starts out, you not knowing the identity, just in general. But no, they're NB for sure.
And I was thinking about this as I was reading, because like even the voice that the narrator chooses to use for the Traveler is ambiguous, and I'm like, what are they? So definitely a great little kind of insert there that was feels very natural. As Choco did say, the people in the duel in Visions, in particularly the two people that were fighting were not throwaways, of course. Ronin is the main character of the book, and the person that they are fighting is also not a throwaway, and we get a lot more information on their background, and we even get their name. You may run into it as you Google the duel or Ronin at some point, but what I love about what I've read so far, hold on, I have to address this. Hera says, I thought Element was a speed reader. I'm on like chapter, I'm in the 20s, and I've read about 2.5 hours. So
That's pretty fast.
Don't come at me, bro. I mean, I've been relatively.
It's not that he's
busy.
not reading fast; it's that he's just not reading it.
Exactly. You know,
which is worse? I don't know. They're both worse.
they're both worse in the fact that this episode was originally going to be discussing the whole book, but I mean, I amended it, and that's why you didn't have to kind of like rush yourself to finish it.
I ended up being gripped by it, but also since I was out and about all day yesterday, and then like I got home and just went straight to bed, woke up and then jumped right into the book. Also, I recorded with Pink Milk podcast with Brian over there. So I don't know when my episode is going to be popping up, but had a great conversation, and they had actually interviewed the author of Ronin, which was their most recent episode. So if you want to, check them out, new friends of the channel, and I appreciate their work. But yeah, there was a lot of really cool insights that come out of that. Yeah, just the Jedi Geki like influences from this, and feeling like it was ripped straight out of the Edo period of Japan. And the way it's like this person is a fourth generation Japanese author who's of mixed descent and lives in Hawaii, but is exploring just these themes. And it's interesting because it goes so much deeper. Like, they got to build their own world, and that's not something we get to commonly see because of how tied to canon most projects are. This truly built its own world.
Yes. And
you have to explore that, which makes it difficult sometimes because you don't know what certain things mean in this context.
It's equally or increasingly more confusing because it kind of like flips the universe in a way that you're unable to kind of draw lines and connect dots into there's
no one-to-one.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to speak abstractly about this, like the Sith and the Jedi, it's not what you think, and the Empire is not what you think. The Rebels, the Resistance, like everything has changed. And if you're thinking of reading this book, please absolutely read it, because it's such an interesting and unique take on what you think this universe. It's kind of like a what if,
Yeah. It's what if you go back to feudal Japan and the one-to-one ratios that you'll find is like the Jedi are supposed to be the honorable, like more like samurai, but the samurai are people whose loyalty is to their houses, right? Mm-hmm. Or to their government, which in this case is referred to as the Empire. And so the Sith are the Ronin, the ones who left that life and tried to start in it. So it's not like a one-to-one of like, because that makes the Sith be the rebels in this scenario. And it's just interesting. So you just take everything as it comes to you, take it for what it is, and everything does get explained further in the book.
Absolutely. Also, awesome to see the word Jidaigeki used. For fun little Japanese lesson, Jidai means era or period, and so Jidaigeki is like a period piece for them. Do you think, Jupiter75 asks, do you think there could be any more books based on Star Wars? That's actually a great question, because we did get confirmation in the last week that from the director of The Ninth Jedi saying that short that we saw was in fact a pilot episode, and so they have more.
Now, whether or not it gets made, or whether it becomes a book or a film or more episodes, We don't know, but we do know that they have this was their pilot, and they have more adventures already set, already in mind for these characters, and so I'm for it. I'm for it. And if Disney does not give them the green light, I don't care. Take the names Jedi and Sith out of it. Make it something else. Put it out there, please.
The Ninth Warrior. But then they'd have to take out the lightsabers.
Space Knights.
What about Speed Force sabers?
I really did enjoy the Flash, but like when I saw that, I just got sad.
Yeah. What Dob asks, what exactly is the Traveler? Is he Sith or Jedi? Now, correction has to be made here. They are. I don't know if by where you are in the book it's specified, but as of right now, they are neither. But they are described as using a black current, which is another thing from the book that I love.
So I was confused by the sentence. They are neither. No, you do find out. There it ends up being an answer to the character's history. And it's good.
Yeah. Oh, you might be okay, so you might be confused. Okay, so the Traveler is an NB that is completely different character from Ronin, which is so this is funny because Ronin actually means wandering. Ronin is the character you see in the duel, and the Traveler is a different character. So the Traveler is NB,
someone you meet along the way.
Yeah, and they are a they them, and Ronin is a he him. But we were talking, or Choco was talking about the Traveler in that regard. And so with the Ronin, he used to be a Sith. But I kind of feel like saying more than that would be spoilers. So I kind of want to avoid saying more than that.
Let's just say he's been building that collection of crystals for a while.
Yeah. Shout out to Haley Corellia Coffee Works. Thank you for tuning in. She's excited about the Ninth Jedi. Yeah. If they choose to do more of the Ninth Jedi, I mean, it's, man, I would love like a spin-off of any one of the Visions, but at the very least they did confirm that it was a pilot episode, so they have more of the story as we mentioned, so it would be awesome to see where that story goes.
Yeah, I know we don't necessarily agree, but like on this, Ninth Jedi though is my second pick for extended story. Tatooine Rhapsody is still number one. Now, knowing elements, La Pinocho is one he most needs to see continued, which it does end on a literal cliffhanger.
It goes La Pinocho and Village Bride.
And Village Bride is the only one I just disagree with, needs more.
Wow. You must be new to Star Wars.
I feel like there's nothing else set up.
No, I mean, more story, not in a continuation. I would love more story around F and her circumstances. What leads her to that place? Like, is she a way seeker? Like, what is her story? Stuff like that, you know? Like, not necessarily a continuation of what Village Bride showed, but I would love more on that character.
Where did she get her high-tech high heels?
Yeah. She's new waifu material for me. Let's see here. Brian asks, does Lucasfilm own laser swords? No, they don't. But I do believe that they have trademarked the term lightsaber. So, I mean, other shows could use laser swords. They just can't call them lightsabers. So, I guess in that regard, they can do whatever they want. The ninth. The
Laser sword.
the ninth Shaddai. The ninth Jedi. The ninth era. So yeah, I mean, if you guys haven't picked up Visions, Ronin by Emma Mieko Candon yet, please do so. It's a very, very interesting read, very different from what you're used to. I highly guarantee that like once you get like past the first 5 chapters and they start going into the world building, you're like, what's going on here? Harith says, I saw your laser sword, only Jedi carry those. Yeah, I mean, laser sword, I don't think you can trademark something as...
Yeah, it's too generic to be trademarked. You know?
I mean, just going off of like relevant or current events, like the creator of Demon Slayer is trying to trademark the green and black grid pattern. And I'm like, listen, I get it. I think of Tanjiro as well when I see that. But that's just a grid pattern of 2 colors.
You have a trademark on red.
Yeah.
So you can't use red unless you pay me. So
dang. I owe you for at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 instances of red. Nope, 7 instances of red on this stream right now. Darthman86 says the Ninth Jedi, the Duel, and the Elder in that order. Right on. The Elder seemed interesting, although the Elder kind of disappointed me in that like it seemed like it needed a little bit more in terms of world building. I know they're shorts, but like Dan was just, I don't know.
Oh, we finally get a brother, and then they made him trash.
Yeah.
But we are what they grow beyond. So I would love to follow his journey and watch him grow and learn from those lessons and become a monster.
Yeah.
A good monster.
St. Pat says, Visions put me on a mission to watch more anime. Absolutely. And if you haven't seen my videos on if you liked this Visions episode, watch this anime, you should go watch those videos. And I also have a YouTube video, 9 anime to watch before Visions, which is just anime by those certain studios that are highly regarded. So check those out. But yeah, if we're let's look, I'm gonna call an audible. Let's talk about some anime that we're watching right now that I think people would be interested in. There is Tact Op Destiny, which is an anime by MAPPA that does another popular anime called Jujutsu Kaisen. Animation is stellar. It's about maestros and music art warriors who use the power of music to destroy monsters who hate music, which has made people scared to play music, which is, a world that is infinitely interesting to me. So if you're in the market for anime, check out Tact Op Destiny on Crunchyroll. And what else am I watching? I'm Standing on a Million Lives. That's a good one.
Interesting. I'm not familiar with that one.
That one you should watch for sure. And then you should watch To Your Eternity. Definitely To Your Eternity. If you loved Village Bride, To Your Eternity, watch it. It's a great anime. Tears. Lots of tears. Darthman says, to me, The Elder felt like an ep of Inuyasha.
Never seen Inuyasha.
I mean, I can see that a little bit, not fully. But again, like I feel like every other Visions episode kind of had, like, even though it was short and it was like, isolated, I could largely glean the overall narrative as to what's happening in the world. And then The Elder just kind of felt like I mean, I could just be wrong in the fact that the Elder could be just a regular old, Star Wars story, and it's just a Master and Apprentice. But I would love to know more about like that Elder and the state of the world. We get to see a lot of the world and the state of it's in a lot of the shorts. And this one, we're kind of like, are we dealing with canon? Are we dealing with like a different world? What are we dealing with? So Dob asks, do you think Bad Batch season 2 will be coming out spring again or later on in the year?
Yeah, I feel like we would have heard about it if it was going to be coming out this spring. I'm not certain that they knew that they were being renewed for it.
Yeah. And I think, I think our next one is Book of Boba Fett will be Christmas time into the new year. And then we're going to get Obi-Wan in May or April. Was it May?
I don't believe we have an actual date on that, but I would bet money May 4th is it's probably a good time for them to release something.
Yeah.
They've done something on May 4th each year so far, so yeah.
What's up, Jack Brody? Thank you for tuning in. Ninth Jedi really felt more like Star Wars than Star Wars. I mean, I'll agree with the sentiment of that sentence, but I think it is just as much Star Wars as Star Wars is Star Wars.
I mean, that's like the story of Dolly Parton going to a Dolly Parton lookalike contest and getting like third place.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Oh yeah. So in May 4th, Obi-Wan, and then after that, I do believe Andor, or no, not Andor. Andor wrapped, didn't it?
I believe Andor wrapped. They are currently filming. Did they wrap season 2 of Mando?
Yes, they did. Wait. I think Mando had to shut down production, right? Because of the IATSA Act strike? Oh,
did they? Oh, man, I feel out of the loop. What's wrong with me?
So this is like the industry workers strike. I forget what IATSA stands for. I saw some articles saying that The Mandalorian might have to shut down production on Monday. That is when the strike is set to occur. So okay. I don't know if that affects them in any way, shape, or form, but they haven't wrapped yet. I do know that I think Andor might have wrapped. Obi-Wan is wrapped. But I think it'll go Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and either Andor or Mando, depending. I think I think Mando. I think they're gonna position Mando and Book of Boba Fett to be like fall winter stuff. No,
maybe. I mean, I feel like if for Book of Boba Fett, I feel like it probably should be like a standalone like story, but I'm sure it'll be popular enough that they're gonna milk it.
Yeah. Jack Brody.
Star Wars lawyer says, I'll take a delay. I will also take a delay. I remember the writer's strike back in, what was that, like 2010?
Mm-hmm.
And just how many shows were like, nope, we're still going, and we'll just have other people write it. And like a bunch of shows just got really terrible for like a few episodes, and it just wrecked the shows. You know what I mean? Like, I loved the show Heroes. I think the first season of Heroes is like some of the best like superhero TV show. And then like, the writer's strike happened partway through the second season, and it just like derails,
we have confirmation. We have confirmation from Lord Dagobert. I don't know if it is confirmed or not, but he does say Mando shut down, Andor and Boba wrapped. Okay, so it could be Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and then Andor, and then we may get something else, maybe Mandalorian. Well, because Ahsoka is also filming right now, and I kind of feel like Mando and Ahsoka need to kind of go into each other because they're of the same timeline. So that could be the next one after the fact. We'll have to see what happens to what effect the strike has on Mandalorian production.
Yeah.
Jack Brody says he meant that in a good way. I didn't take it as a bad way. I was just saying, like, for me, I think it says, like, Star Wars is here. Everything that Visions is like right here with it, you know? What were you going to say?
Oh, just gonna shout out Star Wars Lawyer said 2007 writer strike. Yeah, Transformers 2 filmed without a script because of that. That doesn't surprise me.
First of all, how the hell do you film without a script? Do you just like show up on like so you go through the shot list for the day, and then you go to your marks, and then the director's like, okay,
go.
I want you to say this. And
Fix
you
it
to say
post.
that. That's funny. Man, can you imagine Fast and Furious without a script?
Yes.
Man, I should have won that. I put $10,000 camshafts on my rod pistons.
Man, I still laugh about the first one. Like, I'm gonna blow the manifold, and then like the floor falls out of the car. And you're like,
that's not the manifold.
what was that? What? And the car is destroyed, and then they hop in it and run from the car. Didn't you just? Oh man, I love it.
Oh man, and I think his computer in the car said exhaust manifold as well.
Yeah,
it was nowhere near the exhaust. Closer to the resonator, but yeah, even just them jumping in and running away using the car that was dead on arrival was weird.
Dude, I almost had you. You never had me. You never had your car. Oh man.
And that Fast and Furious creates a lot of weird kind of like pop culture things as well in terms of like trends, because for the longest time there was this huge kind of thing around double clutch and driving stick shifts, and you're like, just granny shift, just do it normally, it doesn't really matter. No one is worrying about that outside of like, you know, professional racing.
Especially for like a drag race, like I get it because I used to do that doing we used to do canyon runs and stuff like that. You lived up in Northern California. We would go do Salmon Falls Road and stuff like that all the time.
Oh.
And yeah, there is, you do want to double clutch, you know, Japanese cars specifically, especially if you're trying to go fast on an incline. But yeah,
you don't want to fry your piston rings and your manifold.
I didn't know pizza places made motors. God, that's so good.
So Chris says 2007 writer's strike, Transformer 2 filmed without a script because or they filmed without a script and then filled in from there once it was done. How did they fill it? Did they like ADR it? Did they mouth it on film and then they went back and wrote it and then they were like, okay, we need you back in the dubbing studio?
I would bet money they were like, all right, so we're gonna have robots fight, let's film that. Let's film another robot fight. All right, why are they fighting? Okay, let's. You know what I mean? Kind of like a Power Rangers vibe, where like the actual fighting and stuff was filmed already, and then they received that from Japan, and they film all the other stuff around it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Man, I never really got into all of that tokusatsu until not until. I never really got into tokusatsu, but there's so much out there. It's really hard to kind of keep track of things. But as we start to wrap up this episode of Dyad in the Force, this chill little Sunday episode, I do want to extend an invitation to Chris and anybody who wants to duet Rush Hour 2 stuff. I have another one in the works. I think I will start this again. I know I said you should start it, but I think I'll because I can I edit the sound in, because I don't think now you can actually put in an original sound yourself from the app. Excuse me.
I will say this one, depending on how it's done, makes me feel a little misogynist.
Well, we're not. I mean, I don't think we're going to expect duets of that nature.
But I do feel like it could be like framed that I'm talking about lightsabers.
Oh, it could. Yeah, you could frame it that way. I'm going to start it off. I'm going to start it off, medium shot with me just standing like this and just listening to the sound. So you can do whatever you want in your duet. You're just going to walk up and just be like, what are you doing? Just go from there. Yes, Chris, it's, I did do a Rush Hour 2 skit for, Kata, Hudali, and, Choco duetted that. I'm going to be doing the one for Heaven on Earth, with that audio. Well, hurry up. So,
man, you don't jump in front of a black man at the buffet line.
Yes. So you're right. That is a great way to kind of reframe that scene. So that would be awesome. Just have lightsabers and take this one. But I hurt my back. I want to see how you interpret that in my neck. So yeah, be on the lookout for that this week as well. What do you got going on, Choco, in High Ground coming up on Wednesday?
High Ground coming up. I have so far, and I do need to double confirm, but I should be getting Star Wars Explained popping up,
Nice.
As well as Shaylee, and hopefully my Dyad will be willing to join the episode. And we'll see, possibly Dagover, but I've been getting so much feedback on like the topics I've been proposing of the Jedi's responsibility and culpability in their own downfall, that I think that would be a very interesting conversation to have, because there are definitely two sides to it. They lost their light on one hand, but on the other, from the perspective of the Sith, this was a targeted eradication of a belief system, right? They targeted the Jedi and did everything they could to bring him to the ground. So yeah, this will be a good one. Hopefully Dagover can make that chat as well.
Where you at, Dagover? Confirm in the chat right now. Like right now. So yeah, we're just about time on this episode. We're gonna shift really quickly to our weekly Q&A segment, where we take questions from TikTok and social media and answer them live. So we'll start with our first question from Commander Scythe, who says, what is your favorite era for Star Wars? Sequels, prequels, High Republic, OT? And I'll let you answer this first, Choco.
High Republic, Old Republic, prequels.
Interesting.
In that order.
So no originals?
I hate the originals. No. They're certainly there. I just only like to do top three when I can, because it leaves people guessing, and you can't be like, oh, you hate that because it's not in your top 3.
Gotcha. Okay. So my favorite is the High Republic so far. Love the new era. Love the new characters. It's just fun. Like, having, like, grown up in the middle of the EU in the past, it was really difficult to catch up and kind of, like, get into it, first of all. But the High Republic, you know, it's our generation of EU. It's our generation of expanded stories. And it's, you know, you can keep up with it, and it's got great stories to tell. They're doing a great job with the books, comics, and all external media connecting the stories. So it's not as disjointed.
Yeah, and the writers are just delightful people. you know, and that it helps to, like, be excited about these people making projects and stuff.
Absolutely. And so it goes High Republic, Old Republic, and then sequels. Moving on to the next question by Star Wars Shill asks, how do you imagine Grandmaster Ray's look? Now, I'll give Choco some time to think about this while I go to our picture of Ray by Saint Pat. This is how I imagined Ray in my post Rise of Skywalker story. I gave him a mood board. I gave him all of my looks for Ray, and Saint Pat, shout out to Saint Pat, did a rendition of Ray, which is this. So it is an extension of her look from the Rise of Skywalker, adding more of a cape from the robe, extending the sleeves and giving her more like layered tanned leathers and buckles. And then she's got, you know, very High Republic-esque belts and sashes along her waist. And it's, you know, I think St. Pat did an absolutely wonderful job with this. And this is how I imagine Grandmaster Ray. Look at this belt. So nice.
No, I like it because it's has the unique qualities of Ray, but the regal qualities of a Avar Chris. And I feel like, you know, there's a dab of Satele in there.
What are you talking about? What about you? Do you have any ideas as to how Grandmaster Ray would look?
So honestly, I kind of imagine her taking on some of like the thing that comes to mind is The Last Jedi seeing Leia in the coat on Crate, and like just that aesthetic, that energy. I want to see her step into what Leia really was, because Leia always was presented, didn't care for luxury, but I feel like I would love to see Rey kind of inherit the Leia's legacy.
I could dig that. Now I'm imagining Rey in like Leia's kind of highbrow collar thing that she was wearing in The Last Jedi, and I'm like, yo.
I'm saying.
Han Talks First, welcome to the show. We're wrapping up in our weekly Q&A segments, but thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, Han Talks First, friend of the channel. Need to get him on high ground soon.
And Dyad.
Yeah, absolutely.
So glad you like it. I'm really enjoying doing the art. St. Pat, man, I love all of your art, and especially our avatars on TikTok and Discord. You're a great artist, and I can't wait to share with everyone the art you did for Echoes of the Past.
As well as my logo, like my icon. That's a St. Pat.
Hey.
It's amazing. But yeah, no, just real quick to double back. Han Talks First is also has a podcast. He goes live on Sundays as well. So I'm not sure if he just finished or he's about to. But if you're looking for another place to find some Star Wars content from people that don't only hate Star Wars, it's a great source.
Haley says, no, don't end the podcast yet. I need something to watch while making my Asajj cosplay. Well, I mean, we still got a couple of questions to answer. If y'all have questions in the chat to ask during our Q&A, line them up. Load them in the chamber.
Haley already does a really good Asajj, so I'm curious what the upgrades are going to be.
I mean, obviously, it's not like of the facial nature because she's already Asajj. I would imagine it's like the clothes, right? Maybe. Yeah,
but like, is it the aesthetic with the wrapped arms? Are we doing like the some Dark Disciple type stuff where it's like piecemeal bounty hunter gear? I don't know, I'm just saying, sky's the limit.
I'd love to see renditions of both. When does she join Krait's Claw? I forget. She doesn't join Krait's Claw, but she
no, she tries to, and then locks Boba in the trunk, and she's fired after that. So,
that's true.
Is there any Element 7 cosplays coming?
No. The only cosplay I can and will do is just my Jedi OC, which is what I have the robes and the steampunk jacket for. So it's kind of like a mix of like, it's a steampunk coat. It's the same coat that Josh has for his pirate cosplay. Which is it's just funny because we shopped on Amazon, right? So it's like a steampunk Victorian coat mixed with the Jedi robes. Okay. Which is kind of like creating an air of like, hey, this is Satil Shan's descendant who is now in a place where it's like the fashion sense has commingled with Jedi tunics and the coats. And so he's like, I guess Vale is his name of my OC, is more of a Monster Hunter Wayseeker than anything else now. Thank you to Ty Yorick for starting that, and Orla Germany. Haley said, making the outfit she has when she chooses Savage. Oh,
okay.
Gotcha. I can't wait to see it. Tag us in it, as always. Let's see. Moving on to the next question. Choco, you can answer this one. Hammy D-Man, thank you for sending in a question, asks, do you think there is a possibility that Ahsoka joins Luke Skywalker's academy and helps Luke train students?
I say no. No, I can see Ahsoka becoming a Jedi again, but not wanting to be part of the organized part of it and being like, I'm sorry, I just can't do that.
Born again Jedi.
I that's what I would like to see, but if she joins, then that'd be great. I also don't want to create, I mean, the more stuff we toss into areas where we're commingling certain things, the more problems we might run into.
Yeah, and I feel like it doesn't fit into canon, simply because with the Secrets of the Jedi book, he speaks about knowing of Ahsoka, but not having actually met her. And yeah,
it's not explicitly stated, but it really feels like he would have said it.
Yes.
So.
Like I believe, like if I met Ahsoka, I'd start the journal entry as, when I met her, I loved her. So yeah, next question comes from.
Well, real quick, we got one in the chat here. Mahan Talks First asks, "What is your favorite Star Wars opening scene?"
Ooh, that's interesting.
And I'm gonna, and I'm also gonna tag on. No, I'll ask that as a separate question. But he also asked another question that I was going to make a video on like last week. I never did. So might as well do it here. For me, as far as opening scenes are concerned.
Well, really quickly, Han Talks First just dropped that $5 ramen transfer. Happy to see you guys. Have a great Sunday. If you have time, what is your favorite Star Wars opening scene? I just covered this on my show. Let's hear it. So yeah.
Yeah. I guess I got two answers. Like, Revenge of the Sith is just a great opening scene. We just go straight into, like, we just go straight into the Battle of Coruscant. They don't explain it. They're not telling you what's happening. You know, we just jump straight into this epic battle. And you know, it's where the fun begins. And that, as well as A New Hope. I love A New Hope's opening. Yeah. It just like it opens so strongly, and you're just like, what? I love these things that kind of drop us into the middle of the action, and we just have to figure out what's going on, you know?
Yeah, and we covered this. Xanthi and I covered this the first couple of minutes in my segment with her on Star Wars Music Minute, and it's just like there's so much happening. And that means there's so much happening with the music as well. We have, like, you know, Imperial music. We have Leia's music mixed in with, like, different motifs that kind of just have to transition to each other. And then different points where, like, you know, it's at the front of the mix and in the back of the mix. And there's a lot of things that we talk about in that segment that is hugely revealing, and I loved discussing that part of the opening. But I would say, I think I'm gonna have to go with The Last Jedi, to be honest, as my favorite Star Wars opening scene. I just loved the way that played out, first of all. Now, how far is an opening scene qualified? First 5 minutes?
I mean, I don't think I wouldn't call it time wise. I would call it the theme, right? Because like on A New Hope, there is a big shift when you know R2 and C-3PO jettison to the planet. You know what I mean? Like that ends the scene. That's when they move on from that set.
So yeah, the bombing.
So that's how I'm thinking about it.
The bombing run with Poe Dameron losing everybody, and you know. That was just an incredibly shot scene, and it kind of kick-started the whole point of Poe and his journey. And it did a lot when Leia slaps him. You know, it did a lot to say what this movie was going to be about, at least with the Resistance. And it kind of set the tone for the film. Like, this was going to be another one of those really dark and really, like, hopeless, like, fleeting hope.
Yeah. Happy
movies.
beeps.
Yeah.
Looks like Han Talks First has good taste, because he shared my two answers. Anyone else in the chat, feel free to give us yours.
Absolutely. This question comes from Abdul AH39. I have a question. Is Rey Skywalker the chosen one? No. In fact, she is the chosen of her own prophecy, which is the doctrine of the Dyad, and she is part of it with Ben Solo, which I find to be a lot more, like, it adds more breadth and depth, or it adds a lot more girth to the Rule of Two. If you're unfamiliar with the Rule of Two, it was, you know, one or only two Sith could ever exist at a given time, one to hold power, one to covet. And what the doctrine does, what they did by adding that on there, is like it created a context for them choosing specifically the number 2. And it states that the doctrine was, you know, that was the basis for the Rule of Two. They wanted to create a dyad with their apprentices, and they never could. You know, Plagueis tried to create one with Palpatine. Palpatine tried to create with Anakin, and they couldn't. It didn't happen. And so Rey and Ben are the prophesied dyad.
Yeah. I mean, and more than that, the prophecy of bringing balance to the Force is what Anakin did. And I know that people can get wrapped up with like, but Palpatine came back or whatever. Anakin hit reset on the galaxy, right? The Sith ran the galaxy for a long time, and he hit the reset button, and the galaxy truly returned to a state of balance. You know, and the Jedi weren't ruling over everything, and the Sith weren't ruling over everything, and there is peace. But the fact that balance is not permanent is always gonna be a thing. You know, I mean, there are always going to be more stories. So yeah, Anakin still the chosen one. He brought balance, and Rey just helped preserve that balance. I do have one more question for you, and this is also stolen from Han. Like I said, I was going to make a video on this, but does Star Wars need opening crawls going forward?
Nah, that is a tough question to answer, simply because it is kind of like synonymous with Star Wars. But we've seen, you know, we've seen Solo mix it up.
Just started just like.
Well,
bam.
I mean, it kind of mixed it, you know. It didn't have a crawl, but instead of having the crawl, they put the exposition in the galaxy far, far away text. So, like, they just spelled out the kind of, like, this is what's happening. So I don't think that they need the opening crawl, but at the same time, like, for big, like, huge movies that's a part of a saga, I think they're kind of, you know, they do it all. It's in the books. The crawl is in the books, and while it's not crawling like it would be on a movie, it's still there. And, you know, the galaxy far, far away, you know, point is always there in the books as well. It's in the comics as well. It's always been that, like, that excerpt in that same font type, in that same treatment, that just kind of is synonymous with Star Wars and providing exposition as to where the story is so far. So I kind of think it does need it. Now, for certain movies, maybe not, but it's certainly Star Wars.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this taking place inside of a fantasy universe, I love having hey, this is where the universe is at this moment in time. And I love it because the story is not about the universe. Like, if the story was about the universe, that might be different. But if it's about people living inside of the universe, then yeah, hit us with the exposition to let us know what's going on in the galaxy, so that we know what these characters are interacting with on this grand scale.
Han Talks First says, my favorite crawl memory is a video of the guy saying, "Turn off your flash, you jackass." Brian's back from dinner just in time for the wrap up. We're gonna answer this last question from Chris, who says, with Ahsoka, do we have canon knowledge of how long Togrutas live? So in I believe it's the character encyclopedia, or absolutely everything you need to know, Togrutas have like a normal-ish lifespan, but for Force sensitives, they're known to live up to 200. But that's only for Force sensitives. So yeah, Ahsoka can, because she is Force sensitive, she can live up to 200. But that's like a ballpark estimate. But we don't have like I don't think we have like an upper limits for Togrutas. That's not like spelled out.
Yeah, also, I feel like it's not often that our characters in Star Wars die of old age. So
Yeah.
So anything can happen.
I mean, we if it's a story I feel
like Yoda died out of spite. I can't with these Skywalker kids.
He was like rolling over in bed. He wasn't weak. He was like, oh man, I can't wait for like the next entry. And then Luke came back in Return of the Jedi. He's like, it's time. But yeah, I have a feeling like in a story after Rise of Skywalker, if like Bo-Katan is in it, they're just like, nah, Mandalorians live up to 300. It's okay. But yeah, that we're just about out of time for this episode of Dyad in the Force. Thank you so much to everyone in the chat for tuning in, showing your support, sending in your questions and your comments. A huge shout out to our Squadron 7 members. We'll start with the TIE Defenders, Star Wars Scholar, Mentally Ill Sith Lord, Chris and the Lady Luck, Brooke and the Mantis, Podwans, Luke, and Kenobi and Jedi Starfighter 2, Mabe and the Razor Crest, and St. Pat and the X-Wing, Casco Hacho and the Whisper, Grandmaster Bale, Harith Productions, DePaul and the Superstar Destroyer, Nerd Connor, the squad leader of U-Wing Squadron, along with Gray, Levi Bond in the TIE Interceptor, Masa in the Y-Wing, X-Core Gamer Skills in the A-Wing, Cal4 and Cartuditu in the Ghost, Brian with the beard, Brian with the bread, Brian with the bread beard, Brian with the beard bread in Boba Fett Starship, and Darth Choco, Arya L in the Jedi Factor. With the reserve pilots, Junsky, Julia Christine, Xanatos 1138. I'm gonna have to contact Xanatos. I know he's picked a Starship for like 2 weeks now, and I don't know if I've ever gotten it, but man, oh man. And then to add Bariko Wookie, a new member to this, I just saw it today. We'll update it moving forward, but thank you all so much for tuning in. Choco, do you have any final thoughts, any closing sentiments?
No, I just, man, it's good time. Pick up Ronin and read it. I'm enjoying it. It's weird, it's unique, it's one of a kind, and yeah, that's like that.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Haley, I'm sorry to end it right here. I know you need something to watch, but just rewind the episode and watch from the beginning.
Or go back and watch High Ground. Just
yes, you can do that as well. But no, rewind. I'm just kidding. Star Wars Lawyer, Han Talks First, Brian with the Beard, everyone else in the chat, St. Pat, Nerd Connor, thank you again for your support and always hanging out with us. It's always a blast to do this show and just chill. Just talk Star Wars with no pressure. This community is the best. I am Element 7, Star Wars Lore Master, learn Star Wars faster. He's Darth Choco.
Yeah, I'm Darth Choco, Lore Keeper, Eloquent Speaker.
That is the end. On to the next one.
For Light and for Life,
we are all the Republic.
And may the Force be with you.